Ghanaian traders allegedly closed down shops owned by Nigerian traders, asked them to leave. A video which has gone viral on social media captured the moment some members of Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, allegedly closed down shops owned by Nigerians in Kumasi, that's Ashanti region's capital, on Sunday the 1st of December. The Ghanaian traders accused Nigerian traders of violating Section 27 of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act 865, which stipulates that the sale of goods or provision of services in a market, petty trading or hawking or selling of goods in a stall at any place in the country must be reserved for Ghanaians. Other services the Ghanaian traders claimed must be reserved for its citizens include operation of taxi or car hire service in an enterprise that has a fleet of less than 25 vehicles, operation of a beauty salon or a barber shop, printing of recharge scratch cards for the use of subscribers of telecommunication services, production of exercise books and other basic stationery, retail of finished pharmaceutical products, and production and retail of sachet water. Now, the GUTA members insisted that Nigerians are violating the law by using the ECOWAS protocol, which allows the free movement of goods and citizens of the sub-region to trade and do any kind of business in any place as backup. Well, according to reports, Ghanaians closed the shops belonging to Nigerian traders on Sunday, the 1st of December, but the Nigerians refused to be intimidated. They came back on Monday morning and broke down all the padlocks the Ghanaians used, and then fights broke out. The Ghanaians brought out a lot of dangerous weapons, but we're told the Nigerians faced them with full force before the Ghana police was able to control the situation. Meanwhile, the Nigerian government has reacted to the alleged attacks. Chairman of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, in a statement described the targeted attacks against Nigerians in Ghana as very unfortunate. She implored the law enforcement agencies in Ghana to protect the lives of Nigerian traders and also appealed for calm on both sides so as to protect the lives and properties, especially that of Nigerians, from being attacked pending the resolution of the matter. Okay, there's a video to this. The video went viral, so let's quickly check the video out before we talk.
As you can see, our people. Now, they're gonna be a potato shop. I can't tell you, see everywhere. I could say just about any man never done. So I have to our shop. Can you imagine? Then come on, and the Ghanaians and other countries. Now it's a Bahama. I feel a mess around church. A mess know the laugh. Your black try to get no tour. Now for your now, but it's a shop when they buy you. Can you imagine? Message just Junior Street now. No way, no man. You are whole out online. You're here live. Can't buy that. Now for you, come on West Africa here. And now, but it's a shop with the mess. Yes. Yeah, bro. Hi, Bello. Now, but it's a shop on the Bible.
Okay, so that's the situation between Ghanaian traders and Nigerian traders in Ghana. Mr. Dibwe.
Well, there's fire on the mountain.
For who this time? For Nigeria?
For Nigerians.
Okay.
It is not a crime to be a Nigerian. But in this our situation, it's like it's a crime to be a Nigerian. Because ordinarily, in South Africa, South Africans attack Nigerians. And what they are saying, what the GUTA were saying, virtually all Africans are guilty of all this, even in Nigeria. Because there are some, according to the trade and bilateral trade relations and the rules on ground, you as a foreigner in Nigeria, there are some certain jobs you don't supposed to be. That is mainly for Nigerians. But in Nigeria, there are some laws also, even in Nigeria too. But because we are some kind of person that we don't even care. Even all these Chinese whatever, there are some retail jobs that is not meant for them that they are doing. You know, there was a time even in Computer Village here, before they were wholesalers. Now they now have some shops. They will now use a Nigerian to front as the owner, and it's being owned by all these, you know, so now that is the thing. If you get to Ghana today, in the area of buying all these phones, recharge cards, majorly Nigerians. And this is a kind of thing that, as a citizen of a country, see somebody coming from another country, bring flourish, but Ghana should not look in that direction alone. They should know that there are some Ghanaians even in Nigeria too, that majority of all the jobs they are doing, they are retail jobs. And Nigeria does not even care. And because of the brotherly nature, we know what we have in the past as a rancor, and that one has been sorted out. I think even Ghana is more closer to Nigeria in terms of the numbers of Ghanaians we have in Nigeria. They shouldn't be doing this. They are our brothers. I know this is one of the fallout of the border closure. I know this is one of the fallout. But they should try to understand, and they should be able to, like Abike Dabiri said, that it's not good that you attack fellow. If we Africans are attacking ourselves, then what did you want all these Oyinbos to do for us?
Okay. All right, Chooks. You know, this is not the first attack Nigerians are having in Ghana. So, and I do recall that there was a certain time when Nigerians and Ghanaians were looked at as brothers and sisters, you know, but this bad blood, you know, that exists now, how did we arrive at this point?
You know, sometimes it's either we tell ourselves the truth or we do what I call in my place Ozuzu Ogolo. You know, the masquerade you call Ogolo is usually very tall. That no matter how you try to hide Ogolo, you'll be seeing the head. That's what Nigeria tends to do. We claim that also see. I'm going to be very frank with Nigerians and with all of us. Nigerians must learn to live as visitors in other people's country. I think is one of the challenges of Nigeria, especially those ones who are doing business. When you are a foreigner living in somebody's country, for God's sake, there are rules. The problem with Nigerians is that sometimes we try to live in somebody's country as if we are living in our own country. We almost carry the Nigerian in us to another person's territory.
Especially when there's money.
So, you see, this is where the problem is. If you want to travel to any country today, if it's where you need visa, you see the requirements. All the things you need to do to be able to stay there. Even a situation whereby you don't need visa, there are also rules. A good number of Nigerians living in Ghana, there's no record of them living in Ghana. There's no record that shows that they are residents in Ghana.
Yes.
I'm telling you because I go to Ghana every other. I just came back from Ghana, I went there last month. The Ghanaian society is a different society from ours. And the earlier our people who live in Ghana understand that, the better for them. It's a different society. It is not a society where you show affluence, for instance. It's a society that people try to live within their means. So when you come from somewhere else and they are looking at you and then you are showing that you have arrived, sometimes, I'm not saying we can't do that, but these are some of the reasons why we are being flagged. It's not only Nigerians that live in Ghana like that. There are other countries. I met the Association of Nigerian, what do they call themselves, living in Ghana, and we had this conversation. I can tell you that even within the Association of Nigerians in Ghana, there's crisis.
Yes.
They have Ezendi Igbo na Ghana, you know, the king of Igbos in Ghana. Even in that one, there are two factions. Yes. So there's always this issue that at the end of the day, they end up, Ghanaian police end up coming in. So this is how these things put together, that's how you begin to see these people react to us. And then this usually happens with traders. I must point it. I've never had they deported any Nigerian doctor or they shot any doctor out or any lecturer or anybody being a professional. It's always within these people who believe that the way they trade in Ogbete in Enugu or the way they trade in the trade fair in Lagos is the same way they can go anywhere. Our people, we need to begin to sensitize our people to understand that there are actually laws. As much as you are free to move, there are rules. In fact, for you to stay longer than you should also apply to be able to stay.
Okay. All right. Mr. Shokwiton, let me hear your take on this.
You know, it's interesting that Nigerians were a peculiar breed that have been created by a long history of abnormalities. Starting with the Civil War down to military rule, you know, a consistent and incessant change of regime that have sort of twisted the way our perception of the world around us and how we relate with it. So now we, as a society, we have lost our way. People genuinely, I discovered this to my pain, that genuinely people don't know right from wrong. So when they are doing wrong, they actually
They don't know.
think they're within their rights.
They don't know. That's how bad we have sunk as a society. Where I mean, I can go on and give example upon example upon example. Somebody walks up to a counter in an eatery and meets 6 or 7 people there in a cluster and stretches his hand over their head at the attendant to say, "Give me meat pie," over the head of people you met there. And I realized that he actually doesn't realize it's wrong.
That he's doing anything.
He doesn't realize it. So now we find ourselves in a situation where we carry that lack of awareness and that sense of lawlessness. We take it to other parts of the world and we're shown that it's not like that. Now, the easiest one is when it's traffic offenses and all that. You must behave immediately because the consequence is immediate. They will arrest you. But when it comes to social behavior, social conduct, knowing how to comport yourself in a strange man's land, we learn the lessons the hard way over a longer period. So you find that, just check it. Why? What is it about? Why is it Nigerians that are being attacked in South Africa? Now Ghana. Go to Kenya and discover how there is an animosity about the Nigerians there. Amongst Kenyans. You know, they look at us as these guys that don't know their place. You know, I've been part of groups of people that have traveled abroad, and even me, I was embarrassed by our conduct, by my group. So sometimes you find me trying to, guys,
by fellow Nigerians.
Easy now, take it easy.
Wow.
Because we're so gregarious, we're so what are the words? You know, we're noisemakers. We're very loud. You know, in showing that we're. If you're walking on the streets of London, it happens to me all the time. I can tell you who the Nigerians are amongst the blacks. I can tell you, oh, these ones are Nigerians. This one, no, this one can't be a Nigerian. Just by that, we call it self-confidence, but we have to be careful. You know, so I think as a society we need to start telling ourselves some hard truths, that we need to be a bit more decent as a people. That's on the one hand. Then our government, when we're talking about border closure, you know, I have always said, yes, we can see the benefits in quotes, but I've always said it's a wrong policy. And this is one of the consequences. You are not an island. So the traders there are looking at, their government closed their border and they're here milking our market fat and living large and living big. Then maybe we should also take some action. So I think it's all it's a nexus. They all connect, and the government, and ultimately this comes back to government. I will always say, what's the National Orientation Agency?
I don't know what
I was just going to say, this is job for the
It always comes back to that.
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Sensitize Nigerians, let them know how to comport themselves in other people's countries.
Is there any do we have any deliberate program to try and imbue certain values we believe this is the value that a Nigerian should espouse abroad? Do we have any deliberate program pushing that narrative consistently? Until when you are sleeping, that's what you are hearing. None. Our government really needs to wake up.
Okay. All right.
Because you know, I understand the challenges with even the government. If you go to Accra today and you assemble Nigerians, you'll be shocked that even the Nigerian embassy is not aware the number of Nigerians who live in Accra.
Yes.
The situation is made worse that you could actually travel on this from between this West Coast, Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, up to Cote d'Ivoire, without having international passport or ECOWAS passport.
Yes, just your national passport. Just your
ordinary ID card can take you.
Yeah.
All you need to do is to pay some people 1,000 and then they pass you. So there's no record when you are going or when you are coming back. Now in Ghana, it's only this year, maybe sometime early last year or so, that Ghana, if you get to Ghana border in Aflao, that's the only place they give you form to feel like you are flying out of Nigeria.
Yes.
Immigration form. So it takes everything about you. It's only in Aflao border. The other ones, nobody cares where you're going.
It's
so
only
you can.
Wear tight borders. It's only wear tight. Yeah, the only
that's the only way you. So you see, we can't try to, because we try to relax our rules. You don't expect that everybody will relax their rules. Well. So when people do that, then the only place I hold them, the Ghanaian government and Ghanaian police, where I hold them accountable, is also they're also part of this system.
They are part of it. Yeah.
Because they're making money from these boys.
Yes, now.
In Ghana, you can't set up a business without registering the business.
Yes, sir.
But most of these boys are not registered, so the same people knew, so they make money out of them. It's only when things go out of hand they begin to harass the same boys.
Okay. Then another thing again is that you know that you can disguise through a conniver of a Ghanaian. As a foreigner, you will register your bank account as a Ghanaian. And there are some people that even sell, the way we sell all these residence form, whatever, they do that in Ghana. Then another thing again is this: Ghana should also see Nigerians as blessings in their own country too, because all this, I could recall in early 90s, to get ordinary wire for electrification, they have to come to Nigeria to go and get it. So we have a lot of guys that because of that, they establish business of wire, whatever. They should see us as blessing, as much as Nigerians also should live according to the rules and they should behave themselves. But Nigerian Ghanaian government also should try much as possible. It's not going to be a very good image, and they should know, as much as we have a lot of things to really gain from Ghana, Ghana also have a lot of, because ordinarily a Ghanaian should not be a shoemaker, should not be selling pop-up in Nigeria according to the rules, because all those ones are retail jobs. Yes,
but that's what they do here.
And that's what they do here, and they're not complaining. So
all right.
Let also not forget, because that's why when you take some decisions, you think well. This same country woke up one day and said Ghana must go, and we chased everybody out. Under a democratic government, not military. If you try to military, you say it's military. Democratic government sent them out.
And they also reverted.
So we need to understand that this, if you have this background, you understand why
they are doing what they do. Anyways, the Nigerian government have called for calm amongst Nigerians in Ghana, so there can be a peaceful resolution to this issue. And like I mentioned before, if you're a Nigerian living in Ghana, according to Section 27 of their GIPC Act 865, as a Nigerian in Ghana, you can't operate a taxi or a car hire service. You cannot operate a beauty salon or a barber shop. You cannot, yes, you cannot do production of sachet water. Yeah, all right, you cannot. You can't retail finished pharmaceutical products.
You can't sell food.
Yes, you cannot produce exactly. You can't produce exercise books or any other kind of stationery, and you cannot, of course, print recharge cards, you know, and all of that. So, like Nigerians, let's be mindful.
Let's
Let's be mindful.